Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. My name is Will, and I am a bit of a comics scholar, so to speak. Today I'd like to address a topic that many of you all may be familiar with. A familiar friend, a character of sorts. Really just a friendly, fat, adorable orange cat who is quite bothersome to his owner, John. And speaking, of course, of Garfield. Garfield was a project written by comics creator Jim Davis during the mid to late 1970s. Jim was originally writing for a paper when he was using bugs as a comics character, and by using insects, he was unable to really convey the emotion people could relate to. So he decided to create a character based on local barn cats that he had growing up in his small town home in the Midwest. Thus was the creation of Garfield. Davis first introduced Garfield June 19th, 1978, and from then on, Garfield has been running to this very day, written by the same original artist. Now, many comics artists use comics as a vehicle to express large themes, broad themes that are difficult to convey in a small light through simplistic emotion. However, Davis takes an approach that is so simple that it has hardly any objective at all. Davis is even quoted as saying, "My hunch was that non-human characters could be placed in many more interesting situations with greater flexibility than human characters," end quote, thus referring to the ability to use characters as vehicles to convey larger emotions. But then he goes on to say that, quote, "I try not to overanalyze why people like him. I'm afraid I'd lose focus, which is just to entertain people." Davis's whole goal with the Garfield character is just to entertain his fan base. And by doing so, he allows the character to take upon a life of his own. Garfield's appearance in the comics changes over time, as Jim Davis even famously quotes that comics were getting smaller and people needed reading glasses. Everything expressive had to be bigger, referring to Garfield. So Garfield became larger than life. His large eyes and his pudgy belly, not just his large thickness, as it were. Garfield became more of a reflection of a man than a cat over times. But this is all an effort to reach and resonate with a modern audience. And that is why he has held up and been received in common newspapers. So in 2004, it was no wonder that Peter Hewitt decided to create and direct an adaptation for Garfield in the form of a live-action comedy in true 2004 fashion. And who did he pick to voice the cat? Somebody who was both cynical, a comedian, of course, and relatable. Well, none other than Bill Murray. That's right, that's Bill Murray from Caddyshack. That's Bill Murray from Groundhog Day. It's the same Bill Murray from the 1990s that still acts even into his later stages of life. That's right, Cubs fan Bill Murray. And Bill Murray delivers on every beat in this film. The film pulls heavily from around 1978 to 1979, the first year of Garfield's run, and pulls from very specific story archetypes. It pulls from Odie's introduction to the family, which has been altered from being Lyman, John's roommate, his dog, to being gifted to him by Liz, the veterinarian.
Thank you.
A dog. A dog. I'm ready for a dog.
I think he likes you.
Hi. Yeah. Hi. Oh, he's a frisky little fella, isn't he? Hi.
His name's Odie, and he's not gonna make it if he has to live his life in a cage. He needs to be loved.
we see Garfield making John eat the liver-flavored food-based products.
Oh, liver. Oh.
Well, actually, it's liver flavored.
We have Nermal and Arlene in their introductions. Though they take on very different roles, Arlene and Garfield are a love interest in the comics, and Arlene seems to want nothing to do with him in the movie adaptation of the work.
Hey, what are you looking at?
Nothing, just looking for some company.
Keep walking, creepo.
What's going on?
We know how much you hated Odie. We know how much you wanted him gone.
Wait a minute. All I wanted was to sleep in my own bed.
And to do it, you cast Odie out into the cold, cruel world?
We saw how you locked Odie outside last night.
Oh, I don't believe you guys. I didn't know he was gonna run away. He's a dumb dog. No offense, Luca.
What?
You can't blame me for that.
Any one of us could be next.
Yeah. There's no room for anybody else in Garfield's world.
Huh? Oh, that's a little dramatic.
There are many different things throughout the film that differ from the comics, but at its core, the same characters, the cynicism and the silliness and the relatability of Garfield is definitely a mantra that would resonate with the 2004 audience at the time. The shots are quick, the pacing is good for the film. The one-liners delivered by Bill Murray could be delivered by no other voice actor, and has then created a new generation, my generation, that grew up with such films as this, to only recognize Garfield's voice as being Bill Murray. Garfield throughout the decades has been a token character. We see very famous writers and very famous comedians pull from the Garfield content because he has shaped so much of the relatable comedy that we have come to know and love. One example is Seth MacFarlane.
Why did you do Garfield His 9 Lives, Jim Davis? Why did you do that dark, freaky one where Garfield kills that old woman? Come on, Jim. Your job is to give us yucks. A job you do damn well, make no mistake. That's why old Peter's giving you a get-out-of-jail-free card on this one.
Dan Harmon.
Hey, John. It's me, Gazorpazorpfield. Boy, you, John, you dumb, stupid idiot.
Come on, Gazorpazorpfield, go easy on me, huh?
And various other writers using them for comedic purposes, just as a reference point, as people are familiar with the characters. Garfield mania is something that's just out there. The entire Garfield wiki page is a treasure trove of knowledge, a rabbit hole that you can go down and swim in for forever. Thus, I encourage you and I charge you to go out and find the Garfield 2004 adaptation on HBO Max, where it is available now, or at your local DVD store. It is definitely worth a watch if you are interested in comics or even understanding the human nature. Or, if you'd like something a little bit more accessible, Garfield can still be read in every major newspaper in America in the Sunday Comics section. Thank you for your time. Links to resources are down in the description.